We went through GZRS, which is geo redundant storage, and basically you have a primary region and a secondary region, and the primary region follows the ZRS principle, where you have data replication across different zones within a region. So, and data is replicated 3 times. So you can see you have availability zone 1, 2, and 3 with 3 copies. And then you have the secondary region, and that follows the LRS principle, where the data is copied within, or the copies of the data are made within a single data center. So that's what you've seen in the last video. Today let's talk about read access to data in the secondary region. Alright, so geo redundant storage with GRS or GZRS. Okay, so replicates your data into another physical location in the secondary region to protect against regional outages. So GRS is basically what you saw for it was again under redundancy in the secondary region. So basically what is common between these two is you have a secondary region where data is replicated, so you have some redundancy, and obviously it's more durable because even if you have a regional data failure or an outage, you still have the secondary region to rely on, right? So geo redundant storage with GRS or GZRS replicates your data into another physical location in the secondary region to protect against regional outages, which we just discussed. However, that data is available to be read-only if the customer or Microsoft initiates a failover from the primary to secondary region. And however, if you enable read access to the secondary region, your data is always available even when the primary region is running optimally. So it's read-only. If Microsoft or the customer decides a failover or initiates a failover from the primary to the secondary, and it's always available even after your primary region is running, is back up and running, right? So for read access to the secondary region, enable read access geo redundant storage. Enable read access geo redundant storage, or RA-GRS. So RA would stand for read access and GRS is geo redundant storage. So and we're talking about so basically it's RA-GRS or read access geo redundant geo zone redundant storage. So depending on which one you're talking about. So if you want read access to the geo redundant storage setup for the secondary region, it's called RA-GRS, and if you want read access to the secondary region of geo zone redundant storage, it is called RA-GZRS, right? And a point to remember is remember that the data in your secondary region may not be up to date due to RPO, because we've seen before that data is not replicated synchronously, it is asynchronous, meaning that the data is not replicated to the primary and the secondary at the same time, right? There is a time lag, and therefore if there's a failover, if there is a failure in the primary region, doesn't mean that So it doesn't mean that the second region will have all the data, right? So because of the asynchronous replication. So in the next video, we're going to talk about we're going to describe Azure Storage Services.